Hi guys, Paul.
And Mike.
ManiacsMeat podcast. This is a nice one. This is some independent movies. Independent movies from LegacyVerse production. From 2013, this one. And it's
the original ones, I think the other ones dated back to like the early 2000s.
The early to mid 2000s, yeah, that kind of thing. Now this is issue 3, and we are going to be talking about the other movies that go along with this one too. This is the Reaper Legacy, the Reaper Saga, I guess they really want to call this. This is Fear the Reaper, Reaper Reborn, the Essence of Evil, and finally Reaper's Revenge. And this is again an independent film company that is out of Toledo, Ohio. Whoa!
Right by Cedar Point.
By New Cedar Point, doing Sandusky action.
And you know that because they show Cedar Point.
They do show Cedar Point, and they get the accents.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit Midwestern-y. I don't know. It's almost like Sandusky.
Yeah, a little. It's pretty good. I would say right now, I think so what's basically going on is in the beginning, this guy in trick or treating gets kind of kidnapped and killed because a demon possesses the body because of a sorcerer that you really don't find out until a little bit later.
Yeah, the plot's a little muddled.
Great first attempts, I would actually say. And basically what goes along is there's a witch, and the whole point, because the sorcerer obviously doesn't like the witch, is the Reaper is there to kill the witch. And it goes on, and then the witch bans him to another dimension. So in the third film, because the Reaper's not there, all these other different humans start being the Reaper, and it just gets all kind of crazy.
Kind of brainwash them. It's a whole thing.
And a whole thing. And then finally, that's Essence of Evil. If I'm getting that title correct. And then finally, the Reaper comes back from that void and breaks the barrier the witch has around her and kills the witch. And then turns out he doesn't kill the witch, which is weird. And then he gets banished and then kills the sorcerer.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, that was for synopsis. That was
I think it's fairly accurate.
For 4 films.
Yeah, because I do think that, honestly, I think the plot is a little muddled. It's a little hard to make out exactly what's supposed to be happening. Mm-hmm. And it seems like at the beginning of all the films, they try to give you like a 5-minute exposition of somebody narrating.
Right. So the first film, Fear the Reaper. You see this woman who never changes her shirt, basically the whole.
Yeah, it's just the big middle finger.
The big middle finger shirt. Yeah. Well, she does once in the film.
Yeah, she sleeps in it, and then she was doing stuff, and this is the shirt she woke up in.
The next day, she's wearing the same shirt, but she's having visions of people getting killed and stuff like that, and then basically, I guess she's supposed to be some kind of a psychic or a witch, and basically at the end of it, the Reaper kills her. They think they kill the Reaper because the sorcerer does, but at the same time, no, he's right back up. And then you get into Reaper Reborn, and which is my favorite. Yeah.
Reaper Reborn. Well, first off, the ending of Fear the Reaper,
when they're in the basement.
Yeah, is a little rushed. I don't know, because the Reaper kills the witch,
kills her friend,
and then kills her.
Yes.
And then the guy that summoned the Reaper was upset because, if I remember correctly, because we watched those a while ago.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, the guy was upset because he wanted the female witch to join him or to.
He wanted something.
Something from her, and he was mad at the Reaper, so he killed the Reaper.
Yeah, but basically the thing is that's why I killed the Reaper, because the Reaper just killed, because that's what I do.
By the way, what was the name of that guy's? What was that guy's name again?
Damien Storm.
Thank you.
Sounds like a horrible porn name.
Damien Storm.
And the guy looked he just got a discount sale.
He looked like the kind of guy that would think the name Damien Storm
would be
badass.
Awesome. Yeah. Let me get out my 12-sided dice and just kick some ass. But at the same time, then it opens up, like you said, to Reaper Reborn, where the Reaper comes back to go kill this witch, and that's my favorite.
I enjoyed Reaper Reborn, actually. I think I would have to agree with you. The second one was the best one.
It was the best one, and the witch was way cuter, way cute. Thick thigh cute.
Yeah,
she wet herself.
She kind of a Paul.
Yeah, it's my kind of.
Oh, I will say. Look, I mean, not to speak out of turn here, but I know Paul's going to have an issue with this because this film was very lacking in the
no nudity.
kind of things that Paul likes to see in his
not even like a good girly
films.
magazine on the wall nudity. There's no nudity. It's horrible.
But Reaper Reborn is when they started doing, if I remember, that's when they started the really good makeup actually for the Reaper.
Yes, the Reaper makeup was fantastic.
And I will give them a lot of credit because I know this company was doing things on like zero budget.
No, there was a few special effects.
Yeah,
the Reaper's mask by the end of it was very
they did a good job. I was very surprised.
I don't want to talk out of turn, but I will say it has an excellent soundtrack.
Soundtrack.
I mean,
brilliant soundtrack because they decided to forego the whole we're going to pay for rights for songs and we're just going to put whatever we want.
Yeah. I mean, where else can you get Wham and the Talking Heads
Wang
and
Chung
and stuff like that? I mean, like, let's fucking go.
Gloria's playing, and we're like, this soundtrack is banging.
Well, I remember when you're like, that's Wang Chung, and I'm like, it can't be.
Yeah, because that was the first one that they threw in. Was Wang Chung by Wang Chung.
Yeah, they couldn't do that. They have
copyright. Or no, they use Dance Hall Days. They use Dance Hall Days.
And then at the same time, I was like, oh, that is Wang Chung.
Yeah.
And then the guy even references in the movie, what in the name of, Wham Chung's hairy asshole are you doing here?
Don't ever question me about Wang Chung.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, they're actually using these.
Yeah, they swing for it.
And number 3, the thick-thighed goth girl, gets a little extra gothy and then banishes him to another realm. She comes back, blah, blah, blah. And then basically it goes into number 3, which because he's in the rear ward, he's kind of like making an opening to let other spirits kind of go into these people.
Yeah.
And they're kind of trying to...
Because the Reaper can't get back to the physical realm. He's trapped in like some kind of weird subdimension.
And that's a real weird film. Keith Munden, by the way, is in some of these films, obviously the director, actor, and stuff. But that's the weird one where you get to see people randomly turning into it, like, abusive houses, whatever. The guy just comes out and starts killing. So that's why you start seeing more than one with white shoes and pants.
Yeah, some of the costuming choices I thought were a little odd because I would see the Reapers and like I get it, like these guys are working on zero budget, but I mean, especially look, I think if you're the kind of people that you're finding to do a horror film, if they're interested in doing it for no pay, just to like be part of a horror movie, most of those dudes are probably, or chicks, are probably going to have black boots of some kind. Throwing some black boots, throwing some black jeans.
Because we saw a lot of like
low budget.
I mean, I understand if you're running after victims, you want a nice pair of jogging boots.
Yeah.
You want I got some Nikes
with your cross trainers on.
Cross trainers. I got my Reebok pumps. Yeah. You know what I mean? But they come in black. You know what I mean?
You should probably have some black shoes. Because all I kept thinking about was, the original Highlander where McLeod is out there and he's got his trench coat on looking all badass, and then they do a wide shot and I'm like, look at those white sneakers. But that was 1980, whatever.
That was 86 or something. You can kind of get away with it a little bit more. But no, I kind of understand what you're saying there for sure. And then after that, the Reaper comes back at the end of this because all the Reapers get together and summon a force basically because of all of them inhabiting him, his power to come back. So that's where we're here now. He's back. He's been given powers by the sorcerer.
Yeah, he's been the original sorcerer, but it was played by a different actor.
Yes. The different sorcerer was a different actor. The sorcerer in this episode happens to be the one that was owning the. Well, we'll talk. We didn't even mention it. The sorcerer in this one is the guy in the previous film that owned the comic book store that was interviewed and interrogated by the agency guy. Yeah, the
mustache guy who was
mustachio agency man,
who was part of my favorite scene in the whole franchise.
In the first one,
which I will discuss later.
Yes, so let's talk about that.
But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But he comes back, it's a different actor, but playing Damien Storm.
Yep.
And he shows the Reaper how to get back to the real world and gives him a crystal
that he got from some truck yard. So
that allows him to break through the witch's protective barrier around the house.
Yeah, and then there's vampires now.
I don't
know why there's vampires now. He just thought there needed. There's vampires now.
Don't get me wrong. I love me a good vampire. Ironically, this movie with having vampires in it, there's so many bad vampire movies that I would argue that the fourth one is one of the better vampire movies.
There you go, because there are some really bad vampires.
A lot of bad vampires.
Maybe it's because Keith Munden is stroking his schlong a little bit in this film because
Maybe.
I want to be a vampire killer. I want to.
Oh, who doesn't?
You know what I mean?
That'd be badass.
I mean, he's not exactly Blade.
No, he's no Blade.
And I mean,
no offense, Keith.
No, Keith. I get it, but
yeah,
if they ran, you wouldn't catch up with them.
Yeah,
but he kills people. There's a lot of one-liners in this, a lot of jokes in this.
Yeah, they tried to make it more humorous.
Because honestly, like at first, they were like, except for one or two characters, they were kind of straightforward. You know, mm-hmm. The agency man is still a straight up agency guy. Oh yeah, he is dead nuts. He does not
straight up murders a dude.
He just straight up chokes a bitch out and says,
a fellow agent. By the way,
just
and he's so strong that he was able to do it in about 10 seconds
with one hand.
With one hand,
Agent Ellis is having a bad.
He's
day.
a badass.
He's having a bad day. So, and this is where it gets a little muddled too. Yeah. So he kills the witch. He breaks the force field, kills the witch. Vampires are outside using objects instead of their fucking mouths or anything.
I was confused about the strength level of the vampires. Yeah, I felt like they should have been way more like picking dudes up.
Got people with one hand.
And those are effects that you can do on a low budget.
Yeah, but they were just fighting like girls and hitting people with laptops, which is weird. Yeah, the one could literally just jump on people and hurt them.
I do give. Is it the I don't remember. Was it Amy? Was the name?
Amy
of the
was
the one with the leather jacket. Yeah. I do give her some credit because I don't think any of these people, and again, not to trash talk these people that are doing this film, but I don't think these people are, trained actors or like fight coordinators or anything like that. And some of the fight scenes, they tried to be in depth and they tried to have choreographed fight scenes, and I think they did all right for what they had. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I give them credit for that.
No, I agree. I thought the Amy Reaper fight scene was going to go on a little longer.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I was really ramping up to be some fucking crazy shit. But, and then we saw the same thing. It was like, don't bite him. That's a bad idea.
Yeah. As soon as she bit the demon, I was like, you don't bite that guy. Like, look at him.
And then, of course, later she's freaking out because demon poison, obviously. Demon blood, not a good idea. Plus you're a demon too, technically. You shouldn't be doing your own thing.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on,
But no, it gets a little confusing because he kills the witch, but then the witch's not dead because
he didn't take her soul.
Take her life force. There's another higher entity.
That's
guiding the thing. Yeah,
that's been ancient before vampires even showed up on the earth because she's giving a speech about it.
I understand you had to pick who you had to pick because of constraints with finding cast. So we'll just leave it at that. But then, so then there's a lot of jump back and forth from like cut scenes to flashbacks to like altered reality scenes. Yeah. And finally, I guess, she kind of says, no, you're good. And then this other force came in, stops the Reaper, gets his spell away from him, and basically turns the Reaper onto the Sorcerer. Sorcerer's all pissed, comes out. Sorcerer had a good death scene. He didn't say one line. He stretched it a little long, but he had no one-liners when he was dying. That was good at least. Stuff. And then that was the end of the movie. I mean, that's...
Yeah, they broke the curse of the Reaper, I suppose, and sent him back to do whatever it was he was going to do. Whatever his original purpose was, I believe that's what the lady said.
Right. And so who knows what the Reaper's going to do now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Who knows if the Reaper
will we see a Reaper Part 5?
Yeah, well, was that, I don't know.
Blue Oyster Reaper.
Blue Oyster Reaper. I don't know. Lust of the Reaper. I don't know. I don't know if he's just going to do
Lust of the Reaper. Lust of the Reaper would be good.
Lust of the Reaper.
Keith, if you're watching this...
We'll be in it.
We'll be in it.
Well, yeah, we'll be in it.
We'll come out to Ohio.
Yep.
To do Lust of the Reaper.
Lust of the Reaper. And if it's a gay porn, I'm definitely going to be in it.
He's even in more.
Yeah. Can we just say, if we're going to do Lust of the Reaper, upshots, all right?
Got to tone it back on the upshots. There's a lot of upshots, especially in the fourth one.
For empowering people.
Yeah.
Downshots are for enfeebling people. Okay? So if you want, like, the Reaper should have an upshot. The main character at the main point when she's going to kick some dick needs an upshot. Just little things.
Yes. The fourth one was especially riddled with a lot of upshots.
Yes, lots.
We actually watched it with a friend that isn't a big movie guy, but he happened to be here, and even he was like, "What's with all the camera angles being upshots?" He's like, "It's very distracting to me." And this is a dude that's like regular guy, like not movie dude. Yep. And he was picking up on it.
Well, I think the camera shot angles are the only real thing we're gonna pick on because
That's
look,
not it.
sound, you need better sound, but that's obvious.
Yeah,
Lights,
but that wasn't too bad for all of it. Like there were some parts.
And the other thing is, well, there was some times where the girl was talking and it was like, brr, 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 brr.
Mm-hmm.
But then the guy would come in and he's really loud, so turning up the TV would, you know what I mean. So you need some of this little, but honestly,
some balancing level stuff.
But the thing is, you've made other movies we haven't watched yet. You might have been already addressing those issues.
Correct.
So, you know, that's the thing is, and honestly, those are all issues that every single filmmaker has to deal with.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah.
So,
well, like and you've said it before, Paul. You said, you know, somebody will watch a film that the visual quality is lower, but the sound quality is fine. But if they have a film where the visual quality, the cinematography is very on point, but the sound quality is garbage, they're going to get frustrated with watching the film.
Frustrated. Yeah, exactly.
Because nothing drives you crazier than when you can't hear and you see that they're talking because you feel like you're missing things.
Exactly. You know, and that's it. Other than that, I actually really enjoyed these films.
Overall, I enjoyed them. I would like to. I'm gonna give my favorite part in the whole franchise, and then if you want to throw yours in there. But my absolute favorite moment was the backyard rape, murder, robbery scene.
That was great.
Was hands down my favorite because I like that the guy that later went on to play the agent. I can't remember the actor's name. I apologize.
Oh,
mustache
it's Rick.
I think
it's Rick Davis.
Rick Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
He's getting better and better.
He was getting better and better and better because when we watched the first one, he was playing the drunk guy. I had no idea that he was a drunk guy. I thought he was a dude like that was walking very stiffly down the street. Yeah. But by the fourth one, you know, he's choking dudes out.
He's very serious. Yeah. I mean, he was born for that agent role.
But favorite scene is where Mr. Rick Davis is in the backyard and his buddy jumps the girl to rob her, and he takes her into the backyard in the middle of suburbia, and they decide at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon it is a good idea to rape, rob, and murder this woman.
Yep. And not essentially in that order.
And and I was laughing so hard, and I know it probably wasn't intended to be funny, but like the sheer fact that they were willing to do that in the middle of the day
in a low fence,
with
two-story buildings around them,
where there's a grill hanging out and there's lawn chairs set
you know,
up.
There's a kiddie pool on the other side of the fence.
That is a bad place to murder somebody.
Kill the bitch. Well, we could do something else with her first. Oh, let's rape her.
Yeah, maybe like, at least knock her out and throw her in the car and like
take
drive her somewhere.
Else,
you don't just murder somebody in a backyard in Ohio.
Well, here in Pennsylvania, there's little shacks with bloody
bloody woods and stuff somewhere. They gotta have something.
Yeah, I know, but it is kind of.
So that was one of my favorite.
I always liked when the first real time you get to see Keith Munden is with the long haired hippie guy. Mm-hmm. You know, and he's arguing about like they're watching Night of the Living Dead. Go, this looks stupid. Like put on some good shit.
Yeah.
Did you just say that? I won't give me CGI every day. And they're having a big argument and stuff like that. But it was pretty fun. Calm down on everyone wearing a horror movie or metal shirt.
Yes.
Okay, we get it. We get you like it.
Because we like it too.
We like it too. But not everybody in the film should wear one. Like, you should have that trope person that wears one.
The one dude that he's always rocking like the Evil Dead shirt, and then the next scene is the next day is the Misfits shirt.
You can even do every scene a different shirt.
Yeah, go for it. Like if you're making it a little campy, switch it up.
See, like not everyone should be hitting bongs. Not everyone should look like a coke addict. You know, not everyone should be wearing horror movie t-shirts.
Yeah.
You know,
because they all start to kind of like just blend together.
Yes, blend together. Especially if there's like similar body sizes or hair colors. And
you start losing them because at least if you have like one guy that's always rocking like a band t-shirt, you're you remember the guy that was wearing the band t-shirt, and you're like, oh yeah, I know the guy you're talking about.
Like for instance, I know this is a poor example because there wasn't that many cast members. Rick Davis always stood out.
Yes.
You know, and honestly,
it was the mustache. I think he was the guy with the mustache.
That mustache guy. So Rick Davis always stood out to me no matter what character he played. Yeah. And then obviously Amy stood out amongst the characters that were in this film, which is, you know, Reaper's Revenge, The Witch is Dead. And Amy stood out because she always had the leather jacket on. Yeah. You know what I mean? Those kind of things.
Yeah, you wanna set your characters, when you pick your costuming for your characters, you want them to fit.
Yeah. She was blonde. Well, she was blonde too, which helped us. She was blonde, and she had that. Well, no, both the other girl was technically blonde too.
Well, when I remember when I would do costume design and everything, that was one of the things. You want to pick outfits and costumes that reflect the characters. But when you have a bunch of people that are all dressed very, very similarly,
Yeah.
they kind of blend together and mesh in your mind. Because like I would be willing to bet that if you go, you know, a month from now and we were to discuss this movie again, like, you know, the one girl's wearing a Halloween shirt, the lead character's wearing a Halloween shirt, the lady that was ancient was wearing that Iron Maiden shirt.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you would start forgetting, like, you'd just be like, there were a bunch of people wearing band shirts that, like, a band and movie, like horror movie shirts. Like, it would all kind of just blend together. Nothing would stand out in your head on it.
Well, there was that one vampire girl with the, you know, with the
corset and everything.
The Hot Topic reject.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I would always say, like, there was that other girl that had the leather jacket on and she was kicking ass.
Correct.
Like, that
like,
one.
Yeah, it stood out.
But honestly, if you would have picked, like, if you looked at the whole spectrum, they were all wearing some kind of related, like, you look at all 4 films.
Yeah.
Everyone will blend together really well.
Yeah, it looked, and I only know this because I've done this, but it would look like, you know, a World of Darkness, White Wolf, Vampire the Masquerade.
It's a bunch of dorks in a basement making movies.
And I get it because I've been there.
I get it. Yeah,
but, I'm not insulting it.
And she never wears the Green Day shirt. If you're wondering.
Yeah, no Green Day shirt. Which Paul was very let down about.
I was where's the Green Day shirt? But at the same time, I was waiting for him to say, why the fuck did they mess up a Green Day shirt?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what I was wondering what he was gonna say. You know? But anyway. Overall, I had a great time watching this. I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give the whole fucking thing a 7.
I'm gonna lump them all together.
Yeah, lump them all together.
I'll give it a 7 as well. And I mean, I don't think
Reaper's Revenge was my favorite. Reaper Reborn.
I don't think the average person would give it a.
No. This is the extreme one we're doing now. The extreme rating is a 7.
I think the average person is gonna be like, I'm not even wasting my time with this.
Yeah.
And I mean. I enjoyed it because I've watched.
Let's give it. This is different. This is a different kind of situation. Let's give it a 3-point rating. We're gonna go independent filmmaker rating.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give this a 7.
7.
Absolutely,
solid
7. No problem. Horror movie fan rating. I'm gonna give it a 5.
That's what I was gonna give it.
Fucking
too,
5.
Believe it or not.
Standard fan rating. I'm gonna give it a 2.
I'm in complete agreement with Paul this time. Actually.
There we go. 7.52. And independent, I'm loving this.
Yeah,
so, I had a great time watching this.
And that was the thing about it was it the best movie I've ever watched?
No.
Not even close.
No.
Was it enjoyable?
Yes.
I had a fun time watching it.
This was great.
That's the thing that matters.
I would love to see all 4 of these over at the Mahoney Drive.
Yeah, it would be a blast.
It would be great.
People would be throwing stuff at the screen.
Yeah,
and yelling,
drinking and having good times.
Just be having a good time.
Yeah.
It is and I say this in the most endearing way possible. It is a shitty film.
Yeah.
A series of shitty films that was very fun, and I enjoyed them. I'm
sorry I don't have them signed. I should.
Yeah, you should have grabbed.
Usually, when I buy independent films, I have the guy sign them, and I just forgot.
Yeah, because we met Keith at
Living Dead
Weekend. Because you were looking for independent films, and I ran and got you, and I was like, "Yo, I just found this dude that's got a bunch of them."
That's where I'm going.
Up. I'm like, "Yeah, come check this out."
I bought all of them.
Paul bought
we have Rotten Harvest to check out.
Yeah,
too.
we got a couple of them.
We have an Infection. We have a Safe Place. It's called. So I mean, there's more along the way from LegacyVerse and Keith Munden. So this has been Paul.
And Mike.
ManiacsMeat podcast of independent goodness. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Watch that finger. Here it comes.